Hello and welcome to Everyday Matters. This is a show that's running 6 to 7 every Tuesdays. It's a live phone-in show and like the title say, it's called Everyday Matters. So we talk about the subjects that you don't normally talk about in the Sikh community. Taboo subjects such as marriage and divorce, the caste system which we unfortunately still have in our system, in our community, alcohol abuse, drug abuse, physical violence, domestic violence, mental abuse, mental health issues, etc. Today we're talking really about obesity in the community, and in the Sikh community and Punjabi community, for example. We're talking about the reasons why do we have such a high rate of diabetes in the community, of heart conditions in the community. So today we're really focusing on our diet, our exercises, and why we suffer more than any other ethnic minority. Again, it's a live dialing show, so the number is 0121 516 2828. That's 0121 516 2828. And remember, you make the show by dialing in as well. So it's your chance to have your say and have your opinion. So if you're an expert or have benefited from this environment, please do get in touch. So today we've got our guest that's always with us, Bhavik or Dylan. Hello. And we've got Balbinder Kaur as well. And obviously you're an expert in the field. So tell me a bit more about obesity, because it's a big thing now, because they're actually saying after alcohol, I think cancer is the second highest risk. After smoking, it's the second highest risk of cancer.
It is, and I think the local government and the National Health Service are getting really concerned about this, because the figures especially for child obesity are increasing, and they're increasing year on year. Basically, 1 in 10 children from the age of 6 to 7, 8, like that, they're actually obese, which means they're not just overweight, they're actually very fat, which is actually going to affect their health and longevity of life, because they're actually shortening their child's life by overfeeding them. Yeah. And similarly with children who are 10 and 11, they're actually 2 in 10. So that's 20%, which is quite high.
Between 10 and...
The 2 children in any 10, if the 10 children standing there, yep, 2 of them will actually be obese. Yeah, and that is very high. And the thing for me is the concern that the reason why we are actually talking about it today is because majority of the times we think we're feeding our children because we want them to be happy and we give them pizzas and chips and things like that. Majority of the time those things are creating diseases when later on in life, and also creating bad eating habits as well. So the government is doing a push on this. We wanted to actually let our community know, Sangat, in our Sangat, that it's very important that you eat properly and you exercise and you look after your children, look after yourself.
Okay, and yourself?
Yes, मैं पंजाबी ਵਿੱਚ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੂੰਗੀ.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਆ ਰਹੂਗੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਤੇ ਇਹ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਪੀਸ ਚਿਪਸ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਲਾਈਕ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਪਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਜੇ ਰੋਜ਼ੇ ਕੁਛ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਚੇਂਜ ਕਰੀਏ, ਫਿਰ ਉਸ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੀਆਂ ਹੈਬਿਟ ਥੋੜੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਚੇਂਜ ਹੋ ਜੂਗੀਆਂ. ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੀਜ਼ਾ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ, ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੌਸ ਆਪਣਾ ਬਣਾਈਏ ਤੇ ਉਹ 'ਚ ਵੈਜੀਟੇਬਲ ਪਾ ਦਈਏ ਤੇ ਗ੍ਰਾਈਂਡ ਕਰ ਦਈਏ, ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਣਾ ਵੀ ਹਾਂ ਉਹ ਪਾਇਆ ਟਮਾਟੋ ਹੀ ਲਾਇਆ ਆ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਬਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਟਮਾਟੋ ਹੀ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਮਿਕਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹ ਸੌਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੀਜ਼ੇ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ 'ਚ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ ਪਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ, ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੀਨ ਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਲਾਉਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ, ਜਾਂ ਟੋਫੂ ਲਾ ਲਓ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਲਾ ਲਓ। ਜੇ ਵੈਜੀਟੇਰੀਅਨ ਜੇ ਦੂਜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਖਾਣੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੈਜੀਟੇਰੀਅਨ ਚੀਜ਼ ਆ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਬਹੁਤ ਕ੍ਰੂਸ਼ਲ ਆ, ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੀਨ ਬਹੁਤ ਬੱਚੇ ਘੱਟ ਖਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜੇ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਉਹ ਵਧਾਈਏ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੋਊਗਾ। ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਵੈਜੀਟੇਬਲ ਖਾਈਏ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਠੀਕ, ਇਕੱਲੀ ਸਬਜ਼ੀ ਖਾਈਏ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈਗੀ। ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕੁਛ ਖਾਈਏ ਉਹਦੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਦਾਲ ਸਬਜ਼ੀ ਖਾਈਏ ਫਿਰ ਠੀਕ ਆ, ਦਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਸਬਜ਼ੀ। ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੋਟੀ ਹਰ ਵੇਲੇ ਖਾਈ ਦੀ ਆ, ਘਰਾਂ 'ਚ ਰੋਟੀ ਬਣਾ ਲਈ ਦੀ ਆ, ਰੋਟੀ ਹਾਂ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਖਾਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਰੋਟੀ, ਪਰ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਘੀ ਆ ਕਈ ਕਹਿ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਖਾਣਾ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਲਾ ਲਓ, ਕੋਈ ਗਲਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ ਠੀਕ ਆ। ਪਰ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਖਾ ਲਈਏ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਬ੍ਰੇਕਫਾਸਟ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਪੀਸ ਫਰੂਟ ਲੈ ਲਈਏ, ਜਾਂ ਫਰੂਟ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦਹੀਂ ਲੈ ਲਈਏ, ਉਹ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਬਲੂਬੈਰੀਆਂ ਖਾਈਏ, ਸਟ੍ਰਾਬੈਰੀਆਂ ਖਾਈਏ, ਤੇ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਫਰੂਟ ਖਾਈਏ, ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਐਵਰੀ ਡੇ ਖਾਈਏ। ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਵੀਟ ਮਿਕਸ ਖਾ ਲਿਆ, ਤੇ ਦੂਈ ਦਿਨ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਰੂਟ ਯੋਗਰਟ ਖਾ ਲਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਉਹ ਬੱਚੇ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਜਾਏਗੇ ਵੀ ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਖਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਔਖਾ ਵੈਰਾਈਟੀ ਇਜ਼ ਕ੍ਰੂਸ਼ਲ
ਸੋ ਬੈਲੈਂਸ ਹੋਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਜੀ ਇਫ ਯੂ ਹੈਵਿੰਗ ਚਿਪਸ ਐਂਡ ਥਿੰਗਸ ਐਂਡ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੀਨ ਦਾ ਸਮਾਨ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ
ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਸਵੀਟ ਪੋਟੇਟੋ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸ਼ੱਕਰ ਕੜੀਆਂ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਸ਼ੱਕਰਕੰਦੀ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਸੋ ਓਕੇ ਹਨਾ ਤੇ ਜੇ ਸਵੀਟ ਪੋਟੇਟੋ ਖਾ ਲਵੇ ਚਿਪਸਾਂ ਦੇ ਉਹ ਵੈਜੀਸ ਬਣਾ ਲਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਲੂਣ ਪਾ ਲਓ ਕਾਲੀ ਮਿਰਚ ਪਾ ਲਓ ਕਾਲੀ ਮਿਰਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਗੀ ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਥੋੜੇ ਜਿਹੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੇਲ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਂਪ ਆਇਲ ਆ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੀਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਗੁੱਡ ਆ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਥੋੜਾ ਚੇਂਜ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਓਲੀਵ ਆਇਲ ਸੀਗਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਓਲੀਵ ਆਇਲ ਵਰਤੋ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਓਲੀਵ ਆਇਲ ਨਾ ਵਰਤੋ ਕਿਉਂ ਤੱਤਾ ਨਾ ਕਰੋ ਠੰਡਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਛਕ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਕਈ ਰਿਸਰਚਿਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹ ਗਾਂਹ ਵੱਧਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰੀਏ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਰੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਫੂਡ ਦਾ ਬਦਲਦਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਬੋਡੀ ਲਈ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਕੀ ਸੂਟ ਆ
So one of the things what I would be saying is that the report actually goes on to say that there are issues with children, right? So it's as they're babies as well, but when they're like sort of what the age for 4 to 5, then 10 to 11. But one of the things that they're saying is that behavior actually goes into universities as well, because the kids will not cook for themselves. They will go and get pizzas, burgers and things, and then maybe have a drink as well, alcohol, whatever, or beer, and all of those have a lot of calories, and one of the things it zaps is your energy, you know. And the other thing which I think we do need to pick up on is when food is made at home and food which is bought from an organization who are more focused on making profit has a different impact on the emotional side of the individual, which is an interesting concept.
I know with my kids are 4, I know with E numbers I have to be very careful now. I noticed that the difference is unbelievable, and people don't understand that certain sweets, for example, that you'll give them, Smarties for example, or whatever, anything that's high in sugar, they'll be fine, but you know, within 5 or 10 minutes they'll be gone. And now some of these actually advertise it will have, the way they say it, they don't say that they'll have behavioural problems. They'll say they have an adverse effect on child's short-term memory or short-term behaviour, memory behaviour. Why don't they just say that if you have this packet, you've had it? You know, the kids are going to. But what I find really, which is really sad as well, I notice that sometimes if the parents are obese as well, or eating like that, the kids always seem to have that same trait. It's almost like it's a vicious circle.
Well, the thing is, it's a habit, isn't it? It's a forming habit, and habit will only change if you actually implement that change over a period of at least 40 days, they say.
Yeah, it's education, for the parents, for the children. ਪਰ ਸਾਡਾ ਲਾਈਫ ਤਾਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੇਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਮਾਵਾਂ ਦੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਆ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਉਹ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਆ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਪ੍ਰੈਗਨੈਂਸੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਖਾਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਸਵੀਟਾਂ ਹੀ ਖਾਈ ਜਾਣੀਆਂ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਈਸਕ੍ਰੀਮ ਖਾਈ ਜਾਣੀ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਬੱਚੇ ਦੀਆਂ ਹੈਬਿਟਾਂ ਉਹੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਜਾਣੀਆਂ ਸੋ ਇਟਸ ਫਰਮ ਦ ਰੂਟ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਉਹ ਖੋਰ ਤੇ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਿੱਦੇ ਕੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਵੀਟ ਟੂਥ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਸਵੀਟਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ 5 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਆ
You didn't get before 5?
No.
How did you do that? Because you've got school parties and then you've got birthdays and all that.
No, just give out like you know ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਨਰਸਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਸਕੂਲਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਪਾਰਟੀਆਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਬਸ ਹੁਣ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਸਵੀਟਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆ ਇੰਨੀ ਬੈਡ ਆ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦੰਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਦੇਖੋ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਵੀਟਾਂ ਦੇਣੀਆਂ ਆ ਜੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਸਵੀਟ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਣਾ ਪਰ ਪਰ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ ਥੋੜਾ ਇਨ ਮੋਡਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਬਸ ਇਹ ਸਾਰੇ ਨਿਊਟ੍ਰੀਸ਼ਨਿਸਟ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ ਇਨ ਮੋਡਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਪਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੈਲਥੀ ਵੀ ਖਾਵੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੈਜੀਟੇਬਲ ਵੀ ਖਾਵੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੀਨ ਵੀ ਖਾਵੋ ਸਾਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇਖੋ ਵੀ ਕੀ ਆ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਕੋਕ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਉਹ 'ਚ ਕੁਛ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਸ਼ੂਗਰ ਦੇ 8 ਚਮਚੇ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ੂਗਰ ਦੇ ਗਲਾਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਉਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਆ
But I remember, you know, you're saying like Coke, for example. We had a nutritionist in the Juggy Singh. He did a video that you can see online on YouTube. He was talking about diet and nutrition and stuff like that. And at that stage, I was about 16 stones,
All right.
This was only last year when I interviewed him. And I thought, I do weight, so I'm perfectly fine, but I wasn't. So what I used to have, and every time, even before I came to the studio, I'd always go to the shop and get Lucozade. So I'd always have to have a Lucozade during the day, or Coke, a can of Coke. I was like that all the time. And you know, like you're saying in moderation, what I'd realised was I'd cut down on milk because my stomach used to hurt from it. But it's probably because of milk and the thingy. But I cut down on milk because I probably had a lactose intolerance. And because then I didn't have my milk, my calcium and extra protein in that, my body was needing that sugary pickup. So now I drink lactose-free milk. And it's full fat I drink. I don't, you know, you've got this full fat semi-skimmed. You should always drink full fat. I know what people say, oh, the green one. With semi-skimmed and green, with semi-skimmed, they take half the milk off. They just put water in, and then they put sweeteners in. So it's, you know, people are saying the upper community are putting semi-skimmed and red top milk, thinking that they're actually being good for them. But you do need that fat if it's healthy fat. So they even say to children under 16, they say they should drink full fat only. So as long as you're drinking it in moderation, that's fine. So little things like that. You know, I used to go for a bike ride, which I used to do. If I used to do 30, 40 miles, I'd be fine, but I'd be so hungry. And my body would say, I need a chip shop. And I'd always go to the chip shop. So it was a pathetic me doing all that 30 miles when I need a chip shop. But then what it was, don't you think beside me, was the salt. I've lost the salt from the bike ride, from sweating, and I've not filled myself up on the ride with carbs.
So important.
But then I drink water, that's fine. But then I should have drank substitutes with energy stuff which has got the sugar and stuff like that will help me through the ride. And that's why I'll be.
And natural sugars are good, you know, fruit carbo to see that's natural sugar. You know, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੋਚ ਲੈਣੇ ਵੀ ਸ਼ੂਗਰ ਇਹ ਚ ਵੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਚ ਵੀ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਲੇਬੀਆਂ ਖਾ ਲੈਂਦੀਆਂ ਲੱਡੂ ਖਾ ਲੈਂਦੀਆਂ ਗੁਲਾਬ ਜਾਮਣਾ ਖਾਈਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਚ ਖਾ ਲਓ ਜਾਂ ਦੋ ਵਾਰੀ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਚ ਖਾ ਲਓ ਪਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ every day ਖਾਣਾ it's not good for you. You know?
No, so what is it doing to your arteries? All that eating.
It's
clogging them up.
It's clogging them up. Yes, liver, everything, your heart, you know, and we can only store so much fat.
I think it's very, very important that I think the habits formed when you're young actually stay with you for life.
It does.
So for instance, if your mother, mom and dad, whatever, cooked very healthy meals for you, homemade stuff, you are bound to be much healthier, I think. Not necessarily true in all cases. However, but if for instance you kind of regularly had pizzas and chips and you know all that stuff, burgers and things, they will actually add all the weight, but they're not really helping you in creating that muscle mass, as you call it.
Muscle mass. So the thing you'll have is that I'm vegetarian, right? So I've not had meat since 2005, August 2005. People always say at the gym, you know, why are you why are you vegetarian? How can you go to the gym? How can you work out and lift this and do that?
That's right.
When I was bigger. But it's a lie. You know the protein that you'll get from meat, for example?
That's right. You can get it.
You can get it from corn. You get it from, you know, Linda McCartney, soya, tofu and all that stuff. So that's what I sort of eat. I mix and match that.
That's right.
Every day. From going from that, mixing and matching that, I've noticed that I don't need that craving of meat.
No.
If you're a meat eater and you've previously been a meat eater and then you start moving over to vegetarian, try the corn chicken burgers, corn beef burgers, Linda McCartney beef burgers. They taste just like the real thing, and I can't taste the difference, and I was there. And it's got the same amount of protein, but it's got 10% of the fat, or less than a third of the fat.
But even further afield from that, make your own. Put the masala dal in, put the chickpeas in, you know, sort of, you know, put tofu in, and, you know, like the soy sauce mix you can get. So I do school meals, and that's why we make our burgers for the children.
So how do you make? So tell us, how do you make a burger from start?
We need an instruction on that.
No, tell us, how do you make a burger from start?
Well, you can use like tofu. You can use sauce mix, which binds.
What is sauce?
Sauce mix. It's like a soya product. You can buy loose. I'm sure our Sangat who go to the Gurdwaras, that we do sauce mix tikkiyan that they love, but that's fried. I don't fry anything. It's not necessarily to fry everything. So we put like masala dal in there. You can grind some chickpeas. You can put carrots in there, broccoli in there. You know, and it's amazing. The taste is absolutely amazing when you use products from fresh and start from scratch. Even your sausages. We make our sausages from fresh.
Your sausages?
Yes, sausages we make from fresh. We bind the sausages together. We put lots of vegetables in there. Now the kids who's watching it and I do the catering, they know me. It should be a secret, but it's come out now. Because you know, we try and, you know, put as much as possible in there, and you know, make sure it is balanced so they get that nutrition, you know, the protein. So, you know, and if you eat on time and you eat the right balanced food, you're never hungry. You're never hungry, and you know, that's where you want to be. Really.
I think that's the thing about the craving, isn't it?
But one of the concerns for schools is, generally speaking, I'm not just saying the Nishkam school, generally schools, the children come from real poverty areas, deprived areas, right? And coming from Warsaw, I was looking at the data and on in Warsaw as linked to obesity and as to why the children were fat. Guess what? 20% of the children are fat. Now, people say they're fat because they're eating, and then the families must be really rich.
Would you say overweight instead of fat? Would you say fat's a negative, horrible
word?
Not
fat. Fat is probably a negative. Obese,
obese,
So they're fatter than what they should be. For their height, for their years, etc. And the key thing, what they're saying is the majority of the children who are obese come from deprivation areas. People where they're poor, so they tend to buy the type of food, like for instance, you can actually get a burger or a whatever, McDonald's for £1 or something, right? And if you go and get fresh food, trying to make stuff, it probably costs you £5. So economically, the society is such that if you're not earning or don't have that sort of educational background, you will actually be feeding your children on pizzas, burgers, chips, you know, stuff like that, and they are obese. And yet some of the children coming into the school don't actually have breakfast.
I know.
They come
the
hungry, and which actually impacts all of that food. That type of food doesn't help their brain to develop. The next thing it does is they don't have the concentration because they haven't had nourishment in the morning. So because you're in a schooling environment, what should be happening?
Really, I mean, the schools do provide breakfast where they're really deprived areas, and I know the government is doing a lot in they've put in programs in schools where they're trying to tackle those problems. So they you know, weigh and measure every child from a school, and
I think they used to do that. They did.
They still do that in some areas. I don't know if it's coming to the Midlands.
That's really good.
They need to come out. They're going to roll it out.
How many kids are there in school? How long will it take? A week maybe to do all of the children? A few days, not
but
a week.
Then there's only, like,
you
know, a certain percentage of those kids that need help. So there's a support mechanism and a system where these nutritionists would go out and just help the children and the families, the parents.
Well, that's really important.
So it's about education. Yes, we might say things are expensive, but there's ways around, you know.
But that's how they see it.
They see that, but it's about education. Look, hang on, this only, you know, takes so long to make. This only costs so much. You know, it's about the education behind it all. That's what we need to teach the parents.
So who's doing the education? I mean, obviously the local authorities not doing it.
No, it's that central governments have rolled out schemes. So my niece works in an organisation like that. And they sort of give private firms to carry these projects out, and hopefully they'll be rolling down to the Midlands. You know, they are in certain places.
You know, sorry, you were just saying about schools and the importance of breakfast clubs. So how does that work?
Well, the breakfast clubs, obviously, you know, in deprived areas, not at my school, but they are, you know, they have bananas, they have Weetabix. You know, you can pay as well to have healthy food.
So it's paying, just
paying. You know, I have known a school to just provide it if they need it, you know.
Well,
and it's something like 50p. You know, you can have Weetabix, you can have a banana, you know, milk with that.
Water. Access to water.
Water's always there available.
Schools. What I noticed as well, there's a school in Coventry which is suffering financially, and you know what they were going to do? Even though parents pay for it, they were going to get rid of hot dinners. They didn't have the funds to have hot dinners.
I can believe
and there was an uproar from parents because, like, I know what my kids get for hot dinners. I wouldn't probably be able to provide that. I would be able to provide it, but I wouldn't be able to do it day in, day out, like the way they do. It's different meal, dessert, nice dessert. They've got the full. They've got and they like it, they enjoy it, and they'll eat what they can eat.
One of the other things that the report actually highlights, and I keep coming back to this report because I think it's very, very important. One of the things they highlighted that the parents weren't even aware that the children were overweight.
No, they don't, because they see
it's
them
quite
every
a high
day.
percentage as well. 51% of
large.
the obese children, they're really heavy,
Yes.
right? And the parents, it was more the fathers. The children were obese, and they said no, they're okay in weight.
Yeah, they
and the
see them
mothers
every
were
day.
mothers actually said no, they're fatter. They're 26%. They said it was okay. But if the parents think the children are not overweight or obese, then it's going to be very difficult to save that child to have a healthier lifestyle.
Right. Yeah, it's, as I said, it comes down to education, and we need more and more programs from the central government to sort of implement in schools, so where we educated the parents as well as the children. Now, I devise the school menus as well, so you know, we try and educate our children that, you know, worldwide food is good for you. It's variety. So we'll have Chinese, Mexican, English, you know. We've done roasts in the past, you know, and it's all vegetarian I cater for. You know, with God's will, it is working to a certain point. But there's just some kids you just can't train, and we need help and funds to educate.
And they need to own it.
The parents and the children.
Yeah.
I think it's hard because, like you were saying, like I was just saying about the school in Coventry, which didn't have the finances. And they were saying they might have to close. The uproar was that there's actually some parents, maybe they've got disabilities or whatever, or can't afford, that they can't actually afford to give their kids an evening meal. It'd be a snack or something really.
The free school meals are there. Do you know, the benefit system's
but then that school meal will be their only meal that they'll get.
That's right.
Yeah,
But
that's
I don't think the government will allow that, because from what I know, you have to provide a hot meal at the school.
Okay.
That's one of the regulations, even if it's a free
For
school.
the younger cohort.
Yeah,
but the older cohort, they don't. Secondary schools, they don't provide hot
secondary
meals.
schools, no.
Yeah,
and coming back to your point about snacking, now in our tuck shop, we do have like baked crisps. We have lentil crisps.
There are sweets that you can get. My kids have it sometimes.
Yeah.
They have laces. They have laces.
They have laces. It's hard to feed them food. They have that for lunch sometimes.
They have laces which are actually made with fruit. It's fruit something. And you get a sticker in it as well. A card.
The Yogi
So
Bear.
Yogi Bear. And that's quite good for them. It's one of the 5 a day.
Yeah,
as well.
I mean, you have to do the biscuits. You have to do the water. We did do a milkshake, but that's sort of stopped now. We do milk by itself. You know, we try and do healthy
Milkshake,
things.
they say they're quite hefty.
They're high in
calories.
fat, but some of it is like natural fruit, so you have to bear that in mind.
Balance,
and I think that's where we sort of have to look at whether it's natural sugars or is it input sugar.
But then even if you're saying, if the kids had a high protein meal and they've not really had much fat in that protein, then it's fine giving them that milkshake.
That's right.
Because you do need fat in your it's just the level. And when you talk about obesity, there's a difference between being overweight and obese.
That's right.
So someone could be overweight when their target weight is 13 stones and they're 13.5 stones. That's overweight. Obesity was someone who's 16 stones. So it's right at the other extreme.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think you don't realise that sometimes you have, you know, a child may look cute. Like nice and chubby, and they call it kadumadu or whatever. But the thing is, I think in reality we need to look at what are the implications of that food and a long time over their life. And the actual government is actually pushing on stopping, like putting a levy on sugar drinks, and they're also saying they're going to restrict junk food, and especially around schools they're not going to allow that. And then also manufacturers, they're targeting them that they must put on their products the amount of sugar in the products as well, and it must be displayed, otherwise it has a legal implication. But for me, I think with the National Health Service and the government, one of the things is the Obesity Health Alliances actually says that all these figures of like 2 children in 10 are obese. That's not just fat.
It is a very high
It's not just overweight, but it's obese, right? And that actually affects their heart, affects their breathing, they'll get asthma, affects their kidneys, they won't be able to exercise. But one of the things one of the colleagues I was talking to, he used to be very podgy, this lad, right? He was supposed to come to the show here, but he's on call. And he basically said his mom would say, she called him a name, a loving name, like Madhu or something like that. And then he would have paratha every time in the morning before he went to school.
Like that.
Right, the poor kid was like this, right? And everybody at school shall I tell you, they used to discriminate against him. Now, so it's not just telling parents, right, you must feed your children right, but just look what the children have to face when they're in school, because they'll get teased. Yeah, they won't fit into the normal clothes. Instead of 5-year-old, they're wearing 11-year-old clothes and things like that. Yeah. So the report actually says, and I'll highlight this, and you can say it in Punjabi if you want. It actually affects your confidence and your social skills. Yeah. It affects your how you coordinate, whether you can play games. So in sports, kids will laugh at them because they can't kick the ball or they can't play the tennis. It also affects their concentration and how they learn. So they'll be in a lower ability band because they're fat. Their muscle development and their bone development will be hindered because it's not actually nurturing the things that need to be nurtured, and their general health and the way they sleep. They won't be sleeping very well because they won't be able to breathe properly. So, and they won't feel good about themselves, right? So saying all this, it's not just because we're saying it and the government's saying it. I think we need to tell the families in the Sangat that it's very important that you feed your children the right food. The best thing is to make the food yourself. Don't buy it, right? Because Babaji and others say that ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪ ਨਾ ਖਾਣਾ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਿਆਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਨਾਮ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ, and you actually empower the child because you're feeding that. But if they buy food from outside, like pizzas and burgers, those people out there, first of all, there's no suchum in there. The second thing is that it's actually money orientated. It's totally wrong. It's not spiritually enhancing. So I think those things are very, very important that we highlight.
I do think, with your saying with eating out and stuff like that, I do think people are going to
you do it in moderation.
Let's say make it as a treat rather than
every day.
For example, an adult, for example, that's working out, like working wherever you're working. For me, for example, as a vegetarian. And there's going to be a lot of vegetarians that struggle like this. What do you sort of eat? It's almost like the cheese sandwich at lunch. You've got to eat plain.
Well,
if you, and then you've got to, and then in the evening, if you're out and about, you're looking for, McDonald's or Burger King do veggie burgers.
That's right.
One thing I'm looking forward to is KFC are going to do meat-free burgers now, which is bad, which I'm really looking forward to.
There's loads of burgers here.
In 2019 it's going to come out. So, the fast food stuff, it's got that addiction too. And in moderation, I've not had chips now. I used to eat chips every day. Nearly every day I was addicted to chips. So when I was 16 stones, I was always eating chips. This is a photo of me when I was, this last year. 16 stones I was last year.
And how much you lost?
So I'm now 13, 11, and my ideal weight is about 13 and a half, between 13 and 13 and a half. But I'm losing £2 a week in weight. And really, the reason why I've really got this, I do training as well at the same time. And I got rid of most of my weight because we were going on a trip to Spain just last month. And it's Marbella that they were going to, and they always say no carbs before Marbs. So I did everything which I could do to make sure that I'm not going to look bad on the beach. Because all these pool places and stuff like that,
that's
you're wearing
an image thing.
It's not the image, but the image has saved that image thing. I know it can affect. It has saved me because my stomach says I need chips every day. I'm not going to be able to have just 2 burgers on their own, corn burgers. I need the chips at the side, and and sweet and crisps afterwards. So what my diet is now, and it's really depressing. If you listen to that, you'll say what? So in the morning I'll have a bowl of shreddies. A biggish bowl of shreddies. I'll have a banana. That's good. Actually, before I start, I'll brush my teeth and have 2 pints of water in the morning.
That's good.
Then I'll have that's really savvy. Then I'll have shreddies, a bowl of shreddies. After the bowl of shreddies, I'll have a banana, orange juice, half a pint, which is quite a lot, but that's the sort of kick they need. Then I might go gym in the morning if I get up at 6, 7, 8, or whatever. Then at lunchtime, one of the things that helped me lose nearly a stone for Marbella was roti. I know it's a taboo subject, but I've given up roti for the last month. So what I have,
people do say that.
What I have, I know, and people say, "Oh no, but it's true." I have the sag. No, I have sag or soya, and and this. But what I do is I have brown toast, 2 slices of brown toast, a bit of margarine on it. Then I'll put the sag or whatever inside of it, and
make a sandwich.
And it's making a sandwich out of it. But I have the bowl at the side, so I'll mix and match it because I dip it in, and it tastes. First of all, you need roti, but the nutritionist said, it's. Having fatty foods isn't bad, but if you have it with high carbs, then it's a really lethal combination.
The
problem is with roti, which we don't emphasize enough, is that it gives you a huge carbohydrate spike.
Yeah, it's 100 calories per roti.
100 calories
so
per
anybody ਜਿਹੜੇ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਆ
100 calories, my goodness, I didn't know that.
calories ਆ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ 1000 calories ਖਾਵੋ
And you got your butter on top as well.
ਜੇ ਆਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ 10 ਰੋਟੀਆਂ ਖਾਵੋ 300 calories with the butter on top.
With the butter on top, you're talking about 400-500.
Yeah, probably more. Yeah, ਫਿਰ ਇਦਾਂ ਸੋਚ ਕੇ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਖਾਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਵੇ ਉਹ ਥੋੜੇ ਪੋਰਸ਼ਨ ਖਾਈ ਜਾਓ 5 ਵਾਰੀ ਦਿਹਾੜੀ ਚ ਖਾ ਲਓ ਪਰ ਥੋੜਾ ਖਾ ਲਓ
People are saying roti, so you're saying,
yeah, roti khá lo.
No, but you don't need to have roti. You can have brown toast. Just all I say to people that people that say that I can't get rid of my stomach, yeah? But what I would say to you now is, yeah, just try brown toast for a month. Just try giving it roti with everything you're gonna have. Just have 2 slices of brown toast buttered. If you have it plain, it's not nice.
Yeah.
But if you have a little bit of margarine on there, you know, when you have that wrap, you watch within a month, you'll see, because you know, if you're making roti and you make it atta and you put water in it, have you seen how sticky it is? It's like glue. So what's that doing to your intestines?
ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ wheat ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਣਕ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ ਉਹ ਕਣਕ ਹੈ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ
But it's not even that intolerance. You've got to remember it's sticky, isn't it?
Sticky,
That's sticking to your intestines.
I've given up roti now.
You've given up roti as well.
It's got a lot of gluten.
I have for the last month now.
And have you noticed the difference in your stomach?
Yes, definitely.
You know, I'm not bloated no more.
I'm always feeling uncomfortable, bloatiness.
Yeah, it's a bloatiness.
And I had one of these tests done.
The first thing
I've given up wheat.
I would say that people ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੋਟੀ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਥੋੜੀ ਘਟਾ ਦਿਓ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ what you're saying.
Yeah, ਜੇ ਹੁਣ ਫਿਰ ਕਈ ਰਹਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਈ ਤਾਂ ਸਵੇਰ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਰੋਟੀ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਦੁਪਹਿਰ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਤਕਾਲਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ
no, you see you're defeating the object.
Is that the good one?
No, but you're defeating the object of why you say cut it out.
ਕੁਛ ਖਾ ਲਓ ਨਾਲ
If I cut it out and Bawinder's cut it out, cut it out. Don't make any excuses for that.
No, but
for the people, I know you can say, oh, they can have roti. Give 1 month trial. You know, people, this is the problem about roti. No. Give 1 month trial of not eating roti. Yeah, just try the brown toast for a month. And if in a month you've not lost weight and you don't feel better, eat 5 rotis a day.
ਇਦਾਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਿਹਦਾ ਮਾਈਂਡਸੈਟ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਹਨਾ ਕਈਆਂ ਦੇ ਮਾਈਂਡਸੈਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਬਦਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਬਦਲੋ ਮੈਂ ਇਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਮਾਈਂਡਸੈਟ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਈ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਏ ਮੈਂ ਰੋਟੀ ਦੇ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਰਹੂੰਗਾ ਫਿਰ ਉਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਵੀ ਚੱਲ ਥੋੜੀ ਖਾ ਲਓ ਘਟਾ ਲਓ ਫੇਰ ਛੱਡ ਦਿਓ ਸ਼ੱਕ ਦੀ ਪਰ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਕਰੋ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਖਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਸੋਚ ਕੇ ਛਕੋ ਵੀ ਹਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਢਿੱਡ ਇੰਨਾ ਕਿਆ ਬੱਚੇ ਦਾ ਢਿੱਡ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਮੁੱਠ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤਾਂ ਰੋਟੀਆਂ ਬੱਚੇ ਖਾ ਲਓ ਦਾਦੀ ਮਾਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਸੀ ਜਿਆਦਾ ਛਕੋ ਜਿਆਦਾ ਛਕੋ ਬੱਚੇ ਹੋਰ ਲੈ ਲਓ
I think that's the thing because the ਆਪਾਂ ਨੇ ਨਿਆਣਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ encourage ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਹੋਰ ਖਾ ਲਓ when the child says I don't want to eat it let them not eat anymore
yeah when they're hungry they'll eat it
and I think the other thing is you know and this is we're coming back to the gurdwaras now in the gurdwara right it's very important that you have small portions right my concern is that you can ask for a small portion but you know what you'll get a full portion yeah and the reason is they feel they're doing more seva by giving you more portions, right? But what they're basically doing, I'm sorry to say it, that they're actually killing you off. If you're overfeeding somebody, you're killing them off.
So diabetes ਵੀ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਵੱਧ ਰਹੀ ਆ
should tell you that's important actually ਜਿਹੜੀ ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਲੇਬੀਆਂ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਲੱਡੂ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਮਿੱਠੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾ ਥੋੜੀ ਤੋਂ ਥੋੜੀ ਖਾਓ if you can right and the reason is those people ਆਪਣੇ diabetes ਆਪਾਂ program ਤੇ ਕਰਨਾ in a couple of weeks time one of the ladies which really shocked me one of my mom's friends she's diabetic and they say it's controlled but recently she lost her eyesight you know what it was so shocking so very very important ਤੁਸੀਂ diabetic ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ sugar ਨਾ ਖਾਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ healthy ਖਾਣਾ ਖਾਓ and exercise as well because ਤੁਹਾਡੀਆਂ ਨਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਰੇ organs ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ affect ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਦੀ ਲੋ ਘਟ ਜਾਣੀ ਆ
ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਅੰਗ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਰੱਖੋ
and your heart
ਅੰਦਰੋਂ
and your blood pressure and all of those things
speaking about diabetics we do there's a charity bike ride in 2 weeks a Saka charity bike ride 130 miles that we're doing I'm doing it with Yanaji as well from Sikh Heartline. So we were training for that last week.
Okay.
We did 50 miles on Saturday.
Oh, well done.
51.
Goodness.
We went from Coventry to Leicester Gurdwara and back again. And then the week before we did 26. So we're training for it and we'll do it again.
Yeah, exercises.
What last year when we spoke to one of the guys that was training, he said doing the ride, he said that he's actually diabetic and he's actually cut his insulin out.
Yeah, you
but
can.
You know how he did it? You know what he says?
Through exercise.
So what he does, he cycles all the time. And he says the problem with diabetics is it's the legs. You can affect blood circulation gets
that's right.
He cycles every day. He's fit as a fiddle. He goes, I got rid of it. just from that.
Exercise ਅੱਧੀ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਘਟਾ ਸਕਦੀ ਆ ਨਾਲੇ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਨੈਚੁਰਲ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਪਈਏ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ
Oh, we've got a phone call coming through.
Okay.
Hello and welcome to Sangat Television.
Hello, my name's Courgette from Coventry.
Oh, hi, Courgette.
I'd like to ask a question. The problem that I've got with my little ones is when we drop them at the nannies and daddies, aunties, great uncles, great aunties and stuff, everyone loves to give them bath feed and sweets and stuff. How do you stop that?
You really have to be strict ਹਨਾ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਕਈਆਂ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਪੁੱਤਰ ਸਵੀਟਾਂ ਲੈ ਲਓ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਇਹ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਏ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਖਾਣੀਆਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਗੀਆਂ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਪਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਾਉਣਾ ਪਊਗਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਛਕਣੀਆਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੈ ਜਾਊਂਗੇ ਘਰ ਫੇਰ ਦੇ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਦੇਣੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾਲ ਸਮਝਾਵੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਨਾ
Obviously, my wife, she tells her family, don't do X, Y, Z. They listen to her. Then the kids go to my families and say, oh, Mama bought me a Kinder Egg. Then my mum and dad, they want to spoil the kids as well. It's like becomes a competition, and before you know it, on the weekend, they haven't eaten anything good. They've just been filled up everywhere they've gone with sweets.
Okay.
And then when you stop them doing it, you get hot, ignaki, fatbena.
Yeah. I think it is very important that you do emphasize that the government is actually pushing on young children becoming obese, and what are the long-term consequences on the health of the child when they grow up. So you need to actually frame it and tell your elders, with respect, that these are the concerns that you have, and you don't want the child to be in that situation, because more and more what the National Health Service is saying, that there are going to be more and more diseases there which they won't be able to cope with. So I think irrespective of...
I think with our elders, obviously, I think my children talking to us will be fine, but when I talk to my grandparents and my uncle and aunt, it's very difficult. With the elders, and I don't know how it is in your family, but in our family it's a very hierarchical system, like elders know best. But I think, what about the good laws?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
People about diabetes.
Yeah, and it's training your kids.
No, it's not training the kids. It's not the kids. Well. You teach the kids. So it's the adults. The problem with the older generation, what you're saying is, we need to have talks. You know, there's fine. God is asking for this and asking for that.
Yeah,
what are they doing for us? Because as a community, they need to be talking about these problems. Like Derby, for example. I'll give you an example of Derby. They don't allow butter in their food. Really they cut down on oil and butter. The council have come down strict, which is a great thing. So why don't you have someone going into the Gurdwara and saying, this is what we're cutting down in the Gurdwara no longer, and this is why we're doing it, and why you should promote that for the children as well.
That's right.
I think one of the things what I would be suggesting is, if for instance your children are eating a lot of sweets and the grandparents or the extended family are giving them sweets, I think you need to be actually educating that, give them an apple or fruit or something like that, but also emphasize that the kids are doing more exercise, actually doing a lot more sport, because they'll use up that energy. If the key thing is, when the children eat sweets and things but not using up that the sugar energy, is going to have the impact, I think, greater.
Yeah, but I think my problem is especially my daughter, she's very, very, very skinny. So everyone's on Maria. But she's not. She does gymnastics for 3-4 hours a week. She does a lot of sports at school. She's extremely active, and she eats very healthily. It's the younger one I'm more worried about. But everyone thinks she's weak because she's skinny.
I even get that now when I lost all the weight. Bamaraya.
ਪਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਮਝਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਦੇਖੋ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਦੰਦ ਖਰਾਬ ਹੁੰਦੇ
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਵੀਟਾਂ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ don't give up because it's your children's health.
To them, and you have to say to your kids, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛ ਕੇ ਛਕਣਾ ਆ. So you be in control of that. So you have to make your kids almost aware. I know habits are hard to die, but you have to start from scratch.
Why don't you do this then? Why don't you know, in your family, in your cousins, your relatives, and your grandparents' house, why don't you get like the yo-yo bear sweets that have got 1 in 5 one in the 5 fruits for a day.
That's right.
And give them out first. Tell them where they can buy it, and tell them so they've got the sweets. So they know what to give, and they can buy it themselves.
That's another
so it's a giving, so they'll know that we've got these sweets, and they're actually good for them. They're eating fruits, and it's one of your 5 a day.
No, that's a good idea, actually, Jacinda. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I.
Okay.
Yeah.
But and also about eating sweets. My kids eat sweets. I take them to the shop every day. But after they've eaten, this is really bad. But after they've eaten, and then they go for a half-mile ride. So they are actually eating, they are actually doing their exercise. So they'll bike ride for a mile to get the sweets.
Get rid of
get rid of the fat. Well, thanks for your call, Koljit. Thanks a lot for your time. Oh, and this is myself and Yanaji on the way to Leicester and back last week.
Right.
So we did 51 miles.
Right.
Wow.
We did go to the Gurdwara as well in Leicester. We didn't eat lunga. We just had water, but we had prashad, which was a bit of butter that did pick us up.
Did you say you want soya, or did they give you loads?
No, I didn't have. We didn't have lunga. I said to him strictly, "You're not eating lunga because you're not going to make it back here." Because he was what we left at 4. We got to Leicester Gurdwara about 7ish, and it was going to get dark. So we had to get back somehow. So that's the only way. You don't want to be doing
and I think talking about exercise and being physically active will actually, because some of the things I talked about, young children, the lack of confidence and social skills, etc., will all be improved if they actually play out and spend less time on the television or on the internet or on their phone.
PlayStation.
Right, going for walks in beautiful weather, going for walks, going for runs, playing outside, skipping, climbing, whatever, bike playing sports. I mean, even in the parks they'll have tennis and things like that you can do. But the thing is, they need to do that, because I think more and more children are playing games inside, whereas in the olden days we used to be out there in the streets.
I'm glad you said that, because with my kids, I always worried that when they get, so we're all routine. I pick them up at 3:50 and I'll feed them what I can feed them. A few times I'll say, let's go to the shop, and they'll get there. They'll get their macaroni and cheese or pizza from the shop, and they'll cook it. Frozen, fresh, but not takeaway. And then they'll eat that. Then I'll give them a pudding afterwards. And then after that, they will go for that bike ride, which I was getting angry. Why are you always going on the bike for? It's 1 mile there, and they'll go to the park. The park's there. Then come back for 5:30, bath, and then they'll read their book at 6:30. And I always used to think that was too much. But now, after you're speaking of it, it's actually good that they do go out.
It is a good routine.
And my son used to always play a computer game for 15 minutes. You'd have a timer, 15, 20 minutes, he's 4.
You put a time
restriction,
and now
you know what, since I've been doing this, he's not asked to play for the computer game for the last month.
And the other thing they say is at least an hour. Even you sort of think, well, how am I going to fit that hour in, considering they come from school, they've got to do their homework, they're going to have a shower, etc. But they also have extra facilities, But the thing is, at least an hour of exercise will actually help the child to maintain their weight.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you don't know what the weight should be for your child, go and ask a health person in the doctor's surgery. And get the tests done on them, because I think it's absolutely important.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's definitely right. Speaking about adult obesity, just for a minute as well.
Yeah.
I know it's really sad. People can say, "Oh, it's easy him talking or them talking." I was awful, right? I was really bad. I was eating chips from the chip shop every day. My lunch would be chips, sandwiches. Every day it'd be chips, no matter what. And pizzas. It was huge. And I was 38-inch waist, and I just didn't bother about it. I just loved it. I'd go gym and do weights, but I wouldn't do any cardio. I couldn't run. But until you make that move of that holiday, which you say Marbella holiday, actually saved me. Just because of the whole thing where I had to cut the carbs, I had no bread, no nothing, and you got into shape. And if I can do it, anyone else can do it. Just go, try and find at the gym, for example. I couldn't run. I couldn't do a mile. I can do a mile. I can do 2 miles in 20 minutes and stuff like that. And just getting it down. Set yourself small targets.
That's right.
And food-wise, just try to cut out the bread, cut out the roti. Just try to, they say men need 2,500 calories a day. Women need 2,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
So if you cut your calories to 1,500 a day, and a woman cut it to 1,000, you will cut it because of deficit. But also, if you do that with your exercising as well, 2 pounds a week I keep losing week on week now.
Well, that's really good, because you're maintaining your exercise, and you eat. You made a number of changes because of that target you had.
But the thing that's really affected me is my stomach shrunk. Which
when you're full.
Yeah. For example, I after the show last week, I went to Sale at my cousin's because I wanted to watch the match. I did at 7 o'clock. Finished. I got there at 7:05, and they've made me pizza and chips, and I hadn't had chips for a month. And I only had 2 slices of pizza and 5 chips, and I was full.
Wow.
Yeah.
And no fizzy drink, just water. But I just thought I was craving. I didn't have that craving. It loses because your stomach shrinks. You know, when you're not eating that rubbish food.
So coming to adults, you know, अपने बुजुर्ग या middle age, whatever, है ना, it's very very important. उन्होंने भी तकरीबन खाना है ना सही खाना चाहिए because वो तकरीबन you know, as you get older, जिदा सी उम्र बढ़ती जाती है, तेरी metabolism उन्नी नहीं चल रही सही, है ना,
थोड़ा कट हो जाता खाना,
तेरा ना जरा भार बदलना अपना या ते तेरा जरा खाना थोड़ा भी खाने या फिर भी तकरीबन भार बदल because तुसी what you're not using all your the calories that you use taking on board. Like you said, I think it's very important तो कि target होना चाहिए हाँ ऐसी ऐसे 2 महीने या किसी दा ब्याह या ऐसी जरूरी भार 1 stone या 2 stone घटाना ही घटाना है ना.
Just on targets, you were saying, you know, if you've got a phone like an iPhone or an Android phone, like you got Samsung half, you got iPhone half. Look at the steps.
That we think.
Yeah, look at the steps. So you know, you're trying to do 6,000 steps minimum. Yeah. And that really does work.
To road 10,000 ही हो जाते कई बारी
if you do 6 to 10, just start off with 6,000 steps. That's an hour's walking, almost a day. You know, it's just go for that walk. Just get you used to it. And if you don't want to go to gym, just do that.
Can I say from the National Health Service data regarding obesity, they're basically saying that if you exercise, right, even just walking or running or cycling or swimming, because even now here in Birmingham they got free
that's right,
free access to things, but you don't even need to go to the gym. You can do walking is the best exercise you can have, and it's free as well, right? They actually give figures. If you're diabetic type 2, you can reduce that by 40%. So at that chance that you have diabetes.
But actually, you know what's it's really good if you say it in Punjabi, because I think the older generation are the ones that probably might not get this message.
How do you say 40%?
40%. See, even I knew that.
40%. Yeah. 40% ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਘਟ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ.
But if I say right in English, type 2 diabetes, if you exercise, it reduces it by 40%. Now you say.
ਜੇ ਹੁਣ ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘਟਾਉਣਾ ਆ 40% ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘਟਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਸਿਰਫ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਰ ਲਓ ਜੇ ਘੰਟੇ ਲਈ ਤੁਰ ਲਓ ਬਸ਼ੱਕ.
Cardiovascular diseases, that's the heart disease, by 35% reduction.
ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹਾਰਟ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਆ, ਉਹ ਕੋਈ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸਾਹ ਦੀ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਆ, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘਟਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਸਿਰਫ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਤੁਰਨਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਆ. ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ 35% ਘਟਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੋਲੀਆਂ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਗੋਲੀਆਂ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਆ? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਹੀ ਖਾਣਾ ਹੀ ਖਾ ਲਓ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਘਟਾ ਖਾਣੇ ਸਹੀ ਖਾ ਕੇ ਗੋਲੀਆਂ ਘਟਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ. ਸਾਡੇ ਦੇਸੀਆਂ ਦਵਾਵਾਂ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਆ, ਸਾਡੇ ਹਰਬਸ ਧਨੀਆ ਬਾਜ਼ਲ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਮੇਥੇ ਫਰੈਸ਼ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਸੋਹਣੀਆਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਆ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਵਰਤੋ.
And about ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਾ ਗਿਰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਆਪਣੇ falls depression ਜਾਂ ਉਦਾਸੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਆ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਾਂ ਗਿਰ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਡਿਮੈਂਸ਼ੀਆ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਉਹ 30% ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਆ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਨਾ ਖਾਣਾ ਸਹੀ ਖਾਵੇ ਤੇ ਨਾਲੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਕਸਰਸਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰੋ.
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜੇ ਕੋਈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਡਿਪਰੈਸ਼ਨ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੈਡ ਫੀਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਡਿੱਗਣ ਦਾ ਡਰ ਆ, ਜੇ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਹੋਵੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ 30% ਉਹ ਘਟਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਹੀ ਖਾਣਾ ਖਾਓਗੇ.
ਅਗੇਨ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੱਡ ਜੋੜ ਜੋਇੰਟਸ ਐਂਡ ਬੈਕ ਪੇਨ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਢੂਈ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਦੁਖਦੀ ਆ ਬਹੁਤ ਜਾਂ ਹੱਡੀਆਂ ਹਿਲ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ, ਉਹ 25% ਤੁਸੀਂ ਘਟਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ. ਅਗੇਨ ਖਾਣਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਹੀ ਖਾਵੋ ਤੇ ਐਕਸਰਸਾਈਜ਼ ਰੋਜ਼ ਹੀ ਕਰੋ. ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਬੈਠੋ ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ 1 ਘੰਟਾ ਤੁਰ ਕੇ ਆਵੋ. Be active and keep a balance है. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਨਾ tai chi ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਜਾਂ paint bowling or things like that, and even they say dance here, but I don't know whether the Asian community would be dancing.
ਨਹੀਂ ਜੇ ਜ਼ੁੰਬਾ ਕਰੋ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਯੋਗਾ ਕਰੋ. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਸੋਚੋ, ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੱਥ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਕਦੇ ਆ? ਕਿੰਨੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਚੱਕਦੇ ਦਿਹਾੜੀ ਚ? ਉਹ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਚੱਕੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ. 50 ਵਾਰੀ ਚੱਕੋ ਦਿਹਾੜੀ ਦੇ, ਫਿਰ 20 ਵਾਰੀ ਕਰ ਦੋ, 30 ਵਾਰੀ ਕਰ ਦੋ.
You get wrong today. Now all the men are watching and he's thinking, yeah, I'll have the beer there.
Not the beer. The beer actually has a. And the other one, which is actually I think is really interesting regarding cancer of the colon and of the breast cancer, you can reduce it by 20%. Now. अपनी ना जी आप दी कंट्रोल आप कर सकते हैं. जी खाना जरा खाने हैं सही खाना खाओ है ना, थोड़ा खा लो है ना, जिन्ना तेरी बॉडी तुहानू दसदी है तुसीं इन्ना खाओ. बिकॉज किस टाइम तुसीं खाना खाने हैं तो भारा जा हो जाता बंदा है ना. कई खाने तुसीं हल्का जिहा खाना खाओ तो फिर तुरो फिरो, बैठो ना, टेली घट देखो, सोफे ते घट बैठो ते कंप्यूटर च घट करो.
नाले सैलड खाओ, फ्रेश चीज़ां खाओ, हरेक मील ना मारा जा सैलड ले लो.
So those are for the elders now. We talked about the young people. We're talking about the elderly now. what I want to emphasize is in the Gurdwaras, there are a lot of elderly gentlemen who do a lot of seva, which I think is fantastic. However, when they're serving, they actually give the portion so much, right? The people that they're serving, they think they're doing real good seva by giving more food. Really what they should be doing is cutting back on the food because it's not good for the Sangat to eat too much.
I think, see, I've done seva behind there. Sometimes it's hard because sometimes you pour a bit more, or a bit less, that's the thing. But you know, maybe
pour less, and if they want more, they can have it again.
Maybe we need to have a nationalised billboard, not billboard, but posters put in there in Punjabi and in English, written on this is the portion size. And actually, you know, like you go to McDonald's, Burger King, or whatever you know, when you order a meal, it tells you the calories.
That's right.
Yeah. So we need to have something. I know it's horrible to say that. We need to have something as a basis. We're not going to be able to do that in every god to find out. But the basis right now,
what that roti is 100 calories.
Yes,
it's not even that. It's a complex calories as well. It gives you a huge spike, and it affects your emotions as well.
Yeah, but all of these will help your health. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਨੀਂਦ ਵੀ ਸੋਹਣੀ ਆਉਣੀ, ਤੇਰਾ ਭਾਰ ਵੀ ਸਹੀ ਹੋਣਾ, ਤੈਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ ਕੋਈ ਫਿਕਰ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ, ਫਿਕਰ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਘਟਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਣੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਕੁਆਲਿਟੀ
ਆਪਣੇ ਹੁਣ ਗੁਰੂਆਂ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਸਿੰਪਲ ਜਿਹਾ ਲੰਗਰ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ।
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦਾਲ
ਰੋਟੀ,
one dal, one ਫੁਲਕਾ
ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਣੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ 'ਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਵੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਆਵੇ, ਇੰਜੋਏ ਕਰੇ, ਛਕੇ।
Do you think it's a reason to attract more Sangat? Because I know for a fact that I actually
I know people go for chips and beans.
I know the children go for chips and beans, which is, I mean, in a way it's a joke, but it's not a joke, it's quite serious, right? Perhaps we need to change the chips and beans to some sort of fruit and
I think
special.
It can get people...
Oven chips.
I was amazed once. I took my kids and it was Guru Nanak's birthday at Nanakside Godwara in Coventry. And he had a huge tent. And we went to Matadik, and when we came back out, and they were a really lovely event, they were giving sweet, you know, celebration sweets, stuff like that. Right. I said, oh, we'll have that later, we're just going to have some langar. When we got to langars, they had Domino's pizzas, chip shop chips, and fizzy drinks, and egg-free cakes, and I'm telling you, it was amazing. And my kids, even this now,
they want to go to Godwara.
Yeah, to that one now.
It's attraction.
Now we have to say that it's only on that day.
Attraction.
So once every...
to get people into the environment, which is really good to have that Sangat. But I think what we need to do is slowly change the diet system that they do. I mean, they do a lot of fruit now, mangoes and melons and things like that.
They do. But I think the kids would choose the burgers, the
but if
sweets,
the kids are having that, you know what they're saying is, what I have as well, is you're allowed one cheat meal in a week. And I've not felt the urge for it. But one cheat meal. So today I had a cheese sandwich.
Yes.
At Greg's, and I had a cheese pie. Cheese onion pie. And I know that's awful.
Yeah,
but
you've got to get your balance.
One of the things I would say for our elders in the Gurdwara and general community, wherever they're listening, ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖਾਣਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਖਾਣਾ ਸਿੰਪਲ ਖਾਣਾ ਰੱਖੋ ਤੇ ਐਕਸਰਸਾਈਜ਼ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਕਰੋ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਫੈਨ ਦੀ ਤੇ ਫਿਕਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਗੱਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਹੱਥ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਨਾ ਫਿਕਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਦੀ ਬੋਡੀ ਤੇ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ ਪਾ ਕੇ ਥਿੰਗਸ ਲਾਈਕ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੂਗਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਦਿਲ ਦੀ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਲੰਗ ਦੀ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਠੀਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਬੰਦੇ ਦਾ ਜੋੜ
looks like we've got another call coming in just now. So we've got a few more minutes. Hello and welcome to Sangat Television.
Hello, this is Baljit from Italy calling.
Oh, hello Baljit.
Hello. Sorry, I see you're really running out of time. I just wanted to
No, we've got a few minutes, so carry on, that's fine.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I wanted to say, I love roti. Don't stop roti for toast. I think it's the same calories. Just check it. I think it's probably the same.
Okay.
But maybe don't have the really white, super white roti. Maybe you can get like the wholemeal
one. Yeah.
You'd be surprised how much sugar is in this atta. I went to a supermarket, ਮੈਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਆਟਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੂਗਰ ਆਟੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਈ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਈ ਆਟੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਛਕ ਲਿਓ yes sugar free
so Baljit, if you don't eat, what do you do then if you eat roti and stuff like what do you do to keep your weight down and in a good level?
Actually what I did was I just cut out Coca-Cola, which was the big one for me.
Yeah, fizzy drinks.
And since I was little, I always had lots of Coke. And then I stopped Coke. And then slowly after Coke, one thing at a time, then I stopped lots of chocolates and sweets and this way.
It's just the urge for that. Thanks a lot for your time, Baljit. We just thanks a lot for the call. Thank you. Yeah, he's right about fizzy drinks and stuff like that. Again, because you might be missing stuff like your calcium, your milk, and your amino acids, and that's why you need that pickup and that rush of glucosase and fizzy stuff. So again, it's down to the diet. But you need to look at you get your protein, and you're still getting the fats as well.
That's right. Make your own lemonade instead.
You don't need lemonade. You can have if you need that fizzy buzz, have sparkling water. That's what I've done. So if I feel that urge for that fizzy, I'll have sparkling water.
So coming down, so it's a really serious issue that ਭਾਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੱਧਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਭਾਰ ਵਧਣਾ ਦੋ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਦਾ ਭਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਵਧਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਆਪਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਐਕਸਰਸਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰੋ ਤਕਰੀਬਨ ਤੇ ਆਪਦੀ ਸਿਹਤ ਠੀਕ ਰੱਖੋ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਉਹ ਸਿਹਤ ਤੇ ਠੀਕ ਹੋਵੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹਸਪੀਟਲ ਜਾਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਦੇ ਜਾਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ
Okay, we've got a minute. Do you want to just summarize as well? In Punjabi you can say to the elder generation how to get out, how to do your exercise, and how to cut down on your stuff and help yourself get away from diabetes, heart disease, and other illnesses such as cancer, which can affect people that are overweight.
ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਆ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਸੈੱਟ ਕਰੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਦਿਮਾਗ ਨਾਲ ਸੋਚੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਬੋਡੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਹੈਲਥ ਦਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਰੱਖੋ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਡਾਇਬੀਟੀਜ਼ ਰਿਡਿਊਸ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਕੋਲੇਸਟ੍ਰੋਲ ਰਿਡਿਊਸ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਐਕਸਰਸਾਈਜ਼ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਵਧਾਵੋ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ 10 ਮਿੰਟ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਫਿਰ 15 ਮਿੰਟ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਫਿਰ ਅੱਧਾ ਘੰਟਾ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਇੱਕ ਵੀ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਦੂਜੀ ਵੀ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਟਾਈਮ ਹੈ ਉੱਦਾਂ ਕਰੋ ਪਰ ਉਹ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਖਾਣਾ ਵੀ ਐਕਸਰਸਾਈਜ਼ ਨਾਲ
No, and I can't emphasize that as well in English that it's just the little small things like an app to do 6,000 steps, 10,000 steps. Cutting out your rotis, cutting out your white bread, cutting out your carbs, it will make a huge difference. And then you start exercising and feel, whatever size you are, don't feel ashamed about your size because you can lose it within a few months. It will go. It's only just, it's only what you've got to do. But we're just almost finishing. But
with that, they'll feel better, they'll sleep better, and they'll feel good mentally.
Okay, thanks a lot for watching Everyday Matters. Please join in next week and dial in. And thanks a lot for your time and goodbye.